We have Zoom.
Good evening. A very warm welcome to esteemed viewers of 10 News. We have with us our distinguished panelists, Mr. David Nair from Australia and Ms. Meri from India. Two of these amazing individuals whom I've known for some time. And those are not just people, who are professionally driven or just the working people whom we see around us. These are two individuals who are on a mission to make sure that they are going to impact every life around them, every life they touch upon, to make them so successful in their life, not just to give the 5x or the 10x growth. It's about really giving them not just the goals but bringing the outcome from their life. And how do they do it? They do it with fixing the mindset. We all know, we all at least think that we know what we want. That yes, my mindset is absolutely right. I'm heading in the right direction. But how often do you find yourself in a situation wherein you feel that I'm lost or I don't know where to head? Why does that happen? It simply happens because we have not brought enough focus onto what we want and how to achieve it. So that's the time, that's the point wherein we get to meet people like David and like Germany, the ones who bring that focus in our life. And they also do the hand holding to show us the path that how we can achieve that exponential growth in our life. So without wasting, taking in fact more time from you all, let me introduce Mr. David Nair. David Nair, who's an author, who's a keynote international speaker, peak performance, personal excellence coach, and a mentor. He's a business strategist, entrepreneur, philanthropist. My God, the list is really long. So I think I would let David introduce himself and tell us more about him. David.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sweta. I really appreciate, and thank you, really appreciate the time and effort that you're putting in to get some of us out to the community. And Jem, thank you for being on the platform with us. Two brains are better than one, as I say. And I think we've worked together in the past, so it's great to have you here too. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, one key note I want to start off with, and I'm going to throw this question right up the front so you can mull over it. Rather than I tell my story. My story's been out there. You can just type into 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 to get more information about me. Basically a CPA who had come to India, and I traveled back and forth to India multiple times, primarily because my mission, as Sweta mentioned, my mission is very, very simple. It's to make a mindset shift, a heart set shift, and a soul set shift in 1 million people across the globe. And that 1 million people improve their lifestyle and that of the next generation, thereby leaving behind a legacy. That's my purpose. And a person with a purpose is a person with direction, and a person with a direction will have outcomes in life. Granted. And that's the bottom line. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about mind and mindset, I won't get into details of it currently, but where I go with this is I never in my life thought I would do something like this. As a certified practicing accountant, what I did was did books and did accounts, but I was heavily involved in litigations and heavily involved with liquidations and mergers and consolidations. Through that, I found my niche was to help people. My niche was to make sure I was there, giving a reaching hand to people, providing hope. And I call hope this way, HOPE, help other people evolve. And 2021 is my mission to make sure hope is given to as many people following what we went through in 2020. Despite what the world is saying, I have an optimistic view that 2021 is going to be a fantastic year for a lot of people around the globe. Thank you so much, Sweta. Pass on back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So now I believe the best thing is to bring Germany there Jemridhar on the show. Now, Jemridhar is a person whom I have seen, I saw from a distance, and I must say that she has been so involved with, so many lives, especially there are a lot of people whom you would know about working for women empowerment, doing a lot of things for women. But the kind of impact I had seen that Gemini brought in those people's life and the way she was touching lives and as if she's just your next door neighbor, you wouldn't feel that she's there to actually teach you something, to really put you on a task that you have to do this to achieve certain growth in your life. No, she's the most chilled out person I believe I have ever seen. And to prove that she has raised wonderful kids and they themselves are becoming so successful at a very, very tender age. So Gemini, welcome you on the show. Gemini is an author. She is founder of Take Charge, the program which is on women empowerment, and she's an international speaker. And I believe more than me, Gemini, you're going to do much more justice telling us all about what you do. Let audience know who you are and how you're going to impact all of us today evening on our show. Welcome. Welcome on 10 News.
Thank you, Shweta. And am I echoing?
No, no, absolutely
Okay.
fine.
So, Shweta, thank you so much for having me, and it's a pleasure to share screen with David. David has been my favorite guy whom I, brainstorm with and speak to, and I have friends like David across the globe, and they inspire me and they keep me on track. So I'm Gemini Dhar. They call me Take Charge Expert. I'm an author. I'm an international speaker, but I have not been chilled out ever, Shweta, in my life, which I am now. And I believe it has got to do with a mindset. I was somebody who was extremely lazy, didn't want to do anything hardworking in life. I wanted easy. And I've traveled across the globe. Of course, I lost my dad at a very young age, and that brought me from a very, very ordinary girl. I went on a quest to become extraordinary by putting in hard work, passion. But at that time, uh, I lacked something, I kept learning for some time and then I stopped learning. And I became the boss of 130 crore companies, what I built from 40,000 of investment. So in 3 decades of fashion, I have seen the ups and downs in business, and I learned. And I was fortunate enough to start working on myself 7 years back. And from that time, I've started working with women, specifically women entrepreneurs and single women. I'm a single mother and very, very proud to be a single mother, that my children stand by me. They inspire for me, they support me, and today we are bonded stronger than ever, in life. So I believe the joy that I am experiencing by working on myself and developing myself, I would want each and every woman to, explore this, learn this, and master it, to understand that life is all about giving, about making a difference, and you can make a lot of abundance by doing that. So it's not only, like just give away everything or take everything. It's a balance between giving and taking and creating an amazing world. So I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. That's me.
Lovely. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much, both of you. Really, really, it's a pleasure and an honor to have both of you on this panel.
Thank you.
When I started my program, so I remember I was doing more of financial management. I was teaching people how to, make money, maintain money, how to multiply your money. And one thing which I realized is like, you know, more than anything else, it's like if they don't have the right emotional balance or they don't have their mindset, placed at the right place, even if you make money, if your mindset is not built to succeed, you will not be able to actually sustain that. Even that success, it becomes a temporary success. You will not be able to sustain it for too long. People somehow lose it on their way. And the biggest example, I think, what we have is the year of 2020, wherein everything planned, even planned people like me who just has, who organize every step of their life, so it didn't matter where we were supposed to travel or what, success we were supposed to achieve on a professional scale or in a personal life. So everything went haywire. So, we were back to the old days, and the ones who had not seen those kind of days, so they were completely lost. People didn't know what to do. And it was like an uncertainty, like what is going to happen? Are we going to get back to the normal life in next 15 days, in a month's time, 3 months' time? So, and eventually everybody just gave up. I think, kind of like, okay, let's see, whenever it happens. So things didn't go as per the plans, but I believe the biggest lessons of our generation we have got from 2020. So what is your take on this? That what kind of lessons you think people, what are the takeaways from 2020, and what can we look for in year to come? Now, in fact, the year that we are in, 2021. So we'll start with David and then Gemini. I would like both of you to give your inputs on the same.
Sure. I'm not sure if the audience knows. Some of the people in the audience have followed me, but the others are obviously strangers. But I was stranded in India from March through to November 28th. In that course of time, I had to think of what I'm going to do during 2020. And one of the key things I did, and Gemini was part of this too, one of the key things I did in April of 2020 was did a broadcast interview with about 68 people across the globe. Not one or two, but 68 of them from different echelons of industry. And what I found was when I was talking and working with people in South Africa, certain activities went uphill, such as domestic violence, such as suicide rates. When I spoke to people in the US, the problems that was encountered there was totally different. They were more concerned and relaxed because the thing of the pandemic had not hit them yet until now, so to speak. But when I spoke to people in UAE, they were very quiet, nonchalant about it. Come to India, the situation was totally rampant. Different parts of India had different views on what and how they should treat the pandemic. Some took serious with it, some didn't care about it. And you can see that in the vital signs that came out of the pandemic results. Now, let me just share with you, when I left and in one of the evacuation flights out of Delhi, this is a true story, and I can't believe this. 24 hours prior to flying, we had 2 COVID tests done. I landed in Darwin after 14 hours flight. The plane was clear of people with no COVID. When we landed, there were 6 victims on plane. Where did they come from? Okay. Now that was when COVID hit me, because it doesn't matter how much you isolate yourself, when you experience that in a plane of 150 people, where 30 of them were infants and young kids, the balance 120 were adults, I thought to myself, how rampant is this running? Okay, 14 days in quarantine, came out of quarantine, and then I got hit with this news of these 2 different strains that are coming in from UK, the new strain, which is even more potent than the other. And from South Africa, the strain is just as potent. Now, I don't know if people are taking this seriously, whether they should take it seriously. But guys, I have this one thought. We have one life, and we have that perfect life, or we have that life that we can put as much as we want into it for whatever time we live. Let's do it. Let's look at what you're going to give, not just to yourself, but to the community. 2020 has been a tremendous year for a lot of people. It has been a horrendous year for many people. It's how you think that makes it. To me, I switched gear to make sure I was effective and I was actually doing the things that I wanted to do. Got onto online, I was collaborating with some people, and we worked on different programs and got that going, which meant it kept my mind active and it kept going. And COVID never even appeared to me, as I said, until I landed in a plane where I found sitting next to me were 6 other patients or victims. So it's how you psych yourself up. It's how you gear your wiring up. And that's what my whole institution of training individuals, of coaching individuals, of writing a book, all geared on this. IXL, wired for success. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's the power of what we're talking about. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David. Gemini, wow, that was like, I think,
I'm
I
just
mean, that's
talking.
his
I'm just
life.
talking about what I've heard, and that's the beauty of knowing such amazing people like you and David and many more of my colleagues. So, Shweta, my take on 2020 is completely, you can say, humorous in the way ki, the demon, the cursed internet, which took away the time, the everything, attention of our loved ones, turned out to be a blessing because everybody hates the internet. The mothers are yelling and screaming at their children, and the husband and wives are competing as to who's spending less time on social media and who's the better one. And I went digital 4 years back, and when I started posting, I was going through a very tough time. Like I had a separation, and I was going through domestic violence. I was going through 11 litigation cases. I was finding the custody of my children, and at that particular time I had to show my face to the world. I had to become I became a coach, and I had to share my ideas and my thoughts, and I felt not enough. I felt that I am so flawed. How can I go out and tell somebody do something? And
Mm,
then my mindset shifted. It is not about how I look, it was not about what I am going through. It is about how I can help you ride over your challenges, and how can I tell my story in the truth, so that you will say, yes, Gemini, if you can do it, I can do it. So my I can attitude was what I wanted women to take in and absorb, because the moment you say, I can do this, I can, everything becomes a possibility. And I started working on opportunities as possibilities, challenges as possibilities, trauma as possibilities. And I went digital 4 years back, and a lot of people used to smile when I used to put pictures, and I used to smile, I used to laugh. At times I felt fake also, but
yeah.
I realized that I was blossoming and I was learning, and I learned the digital medium totally on my own, everything. So today I have a healthy Instagram account, not like a loud one, but a healthy one. And I get messages, I get invitations for keynotes right through my social media. I got recognized, I got the opportunity to meet Ratan Tata when I got my book autographed from him. So a lot of things happened. I started documenting what I was doing, and I realized that my mindset was going through a transformation. But 2020 gave me like a huge leverage, because every women entrepreneur, every individual who was shy of social media, who was shy to go out to the world and say, I am so and so, these are my flaws, these are my specialities, came out in the open, because they had no other option but to go digital. So I created, I think, 4 to 5 fabulous success stories with women entrepreneurs. And I myself was surprised, a person who had a lot of mindset issues, that no, I'm too well to do, I can't go on media, I can't sell, I can't talk about this, it's not appropriate, blah blah blah. She just broke all her limiting beliefs, and today she goes out and she talks about her passion for her work, why she wants, because she knows she's empowering when she's going online. So
Yes.
for me, it's been breaking the mindset of this is bad to this is awesome. So whether you use a knife to cut vegetables, to murder somebody, to cut something, or to do a surgery, it's a knife, right? You use it for multi-purpose. What you think about it, what's your mindset, what's the purpose of doing something, makes a difference. And this itself is a path breaking realization for a lot of people, because your business will grow as much as in between your head. Whatever you think in between these two things, in between your ears, is going to create your opportunity. So I believe this very thoroughly, that 2020 tested everybody, including me, because I was running from one seminar to other, one city to another, going from one country to other, and we were used to looking at 200, 300 people a weekend, interacting, meeting, and it just came to a standstill. So in July, I went through an operation. Then I was then some allergic reaction happened, and my health went for a toss. So last 6 months was so taxing on my health. However, it made me more and more determined that I'm going to come out a winner. I'm going to come out stronger. So I think whatever I suffered from July to now, I will never suffer I will say never, because I'm going to take in all the precautions that I can. I'm going to build myself to the level that, I'm not taken back. So, a lot of people suffer, I cannot do. ये मेरे से नहीं होगा, this is not for me, this is too loud, this is too cheap, this is too stylish, this is too expensive, this is too cheap. So all this mindset stuff in our head is blocking us. They are bigger roadblocks than the the road, what you can say, speed breakers you see on the roads. So I believe that shifting a mindset is an art, and people like David, you and me have had the opportunity and the joy to learn it, and I think that's the game changer. So 2020 took away lives, took away loved ones, and for a lot of people, it's been a very, very traumatic time. But a lot of them stood strong. A lot of them went through the COVID. They've suffered. They've been out. They've been positive, and now they've been negative. So the negative has been the best part for the people who go for tests. Nowadays, other than being positive. So I believe that how we nurture what we think and what perception we are giving to a particular incident will change your opportunity and will change your outcomes. So
Good.
2020
That's
was opportunities, in a box full of opportunities for me and people I'm working with.
great, great, great. I must say the same. I think in my case, went through a lot of different shades, I would say, of 2020. The beginning of the year was like absolutely on a fast track mode. And then all of a sudden, how you hit that brake, everything was on halt all of a sudden without any warning. So then it was like a pause, and then which went like a little really longer pause. Then came a time when we knew that we are all going to be at home. So apart from, yes, really gaining the weight part, or some people really joining, the yoga part, or the fitness part, but they definitely, everybody went through the first phase, that was the fat part. And apart from, I'm not just talking about the fat which was coming from the food or the wrong kind of food. Also, I think a lot of us went through the knowledge obesity. There was so much to be offered. Everybody was just absorbing from the internet, from otherwise, from the messages. So the information load was so much that I went through extreme fatigue of the knowledge obesity, that I had to literally put myself on a forced break, that I'm not going to check my messages, especially the WhatsApp. I'm very happy if, even if they block the WhatsApp, or they really ban it, I would be happy. But it's not about somebody else telling us what not to do. It's about having that control over our, as they say, that, either the day controls you or you control your day. And it's not even about controlling, it's about how you prioritize, how you manage, how you create a balance even in your digital space and your physical space.
True.
So we usually tend to ignore the other things, when it comes to the digital platform. So yes, for a while, digital platform did take over our life. Children whom we were always telling not to be on screen, all of a sudden we were forcing them to be on screen. I remember my 6-year-old struggling to read his chapter on screen because he was not, supposed to do that ever. And now that's all what he was doing. And one fine day he came to me and said, Mama, now I can read on screen. And I really didn't know whether to feel proud of it or feel sad. I was like, good for you. Do that. But don't forget to read your book otherwise. So it was a mixed match year. But yes, as Shruti is saying that, 2020 has been a transforming year. And fortunately, we took the challenges. I think, took over a lot of challenges and a lot of learning that we got, what kind of harm we were doing to the planet and what kind of harm we were doing to ourselves. We got, I think, in a way, a lot of time to understand. As I was quoting earlier while talking to David, that there's a book written by Simon Sinek, that Know Your Why. And now David is writing something which is about know your what. First know what you want, and then only you can go to the why you want that. But first of all, get to what you want. So let's hear from David, and then of course from Gemini. Tell us, what is this what people need to know before they even think about why and how.
Okay, very simple. You know, I like individuals just to relax and just think about this for a moment. You know, you are a person, an individual. Do you know that your heart beats 100,000 times a day? Do you know your heart pumps 6 quarts of blood? Do you know the network of blood vessels that we put together in our body? If we stretched it end to end, it goes for in excess of 60,000 miles. Do you know the eyes that we have? It has 10 million color distinctions.
Wow.
Do you know the combined muscles that we have? If we put together, it is 25 tons of power. All of that is controlled by 3 pounds of brain. All of that is controlled by 3 pounds of brain. What are you doing to tune that 3 pounds of brain daily? Yeah, you have 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But what are you doing to fine-tune that 3 pounds of brain? What are your daily rituals? What are your daily and night rituals? Apart from eating, like Sweta was saying, put fat on. Apart from putting the fat on our waistlines or our body, what are we doing for this? Ladies and gentlemen, my point is very simple. Unless we master that, we are no better than an animal. Because on the pyramid of the animal kingdom, mankind is right at the top there. What distinguishes us from the rest of the animals is that intelligence. What are you doing? What have you done on a daily basis to tune that? And I call that, when you have these rituals, I mean, I've got people in the tribe that I've been working for the last 2.5 decades, coaching, mentoring people from different echelons of corporate, different entrepreneurs, and the rest. Most of them, I'll tell you, most of them have got one tunnel vision of getting a piece of paper, coming up with a degree, and hoping to go up in life, or starting a startup and continuing with it. But they don't realize there is 2 things to it. One is working it smart and the other is working it hard. 99.9% of people work it hard. They don't know how to utilize this. I'm not talking your intelligence here, beg your forgiveness. I am talking about you gearing and wiring this so you can tune yourself and you are in sync with your body, mind, and soul. That synchronity is what you need to actually step up success. Where are we with that? I'm throwing a question at you guys, primarily because we can waffle around and we can talk everything else. Guys, unless you hone in on this, you're not going to get far in 2021. I can tell you that. My mission, as I said, was 1 million people, and I failed. 1 million people when I left Australia. I went to India in 1998. That was my first trip. I knew nobody in India. I had 2 suitcases, and I traveled 14 cities. Sorry, I traveled, 21 cities in 14 days. There was an Air India flight that was available that you could buy for $750 US. And what was I doing? A traveling salesman, a CPA doing traveling salesman in India. What was I doing? I was going from Rotary Club to Rotary Club trying to learn. And it was in India that this wisdom came to me about utilization of your mind. You have got it there. You have got it in India, but we are too proud to take it and use it. Learn the art of rituals, guys. What are some of the things you have to do in the morning? Apart from making a bed, Sweta and Gemini, what are some of the things we have to do in the morning? What are some of the things that you have to go through during the day to keep that energy level up? What are some of the things you have to do before you get to rest? Who do you give gratitude to? Guys, unless you think this way, 2021 will be another 2020 for you, and 2040 will be another 2020 for you. Change. change. Transformation is not important, but vital. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, David. That was like really profound. Germany, what's your
Well,
take?
so after David starts speaking, my mind starts wandering and thinking and, creating ideas. And it's so beautiful. So thank you, David. Yes.
Pleasure.
You know what? I'm a very to the point in the sense thought processes when I work with women. Most of them say, Ki, I did this, but I didn't get this result. I did this, but I didn't happen. I did everything, but it doesn't happen. So I just ask people that what can you do or what must you do to get a particular result. So women are looking for more growth, more respect, more love, more understanding. But when you tell them that what is it that you are ready to dedicate, what is it that you're ready to give, when it comes to dedicating or commitment, they commit a little, then they don't see the results, then they go back and try something new. So in my life I have seen so many people who keep trying different things. So let's say I heard David and I liked what he said and I understood what he said and I started doing that, but somewhere along the line I get bored of it and I give it up and I try something new. That's why I really believe that ideally to find out your what, you should have one guiding star, one pole star that you look at, and you keep following and you keep learning new skills and attributes in one direction. So every year I have a budget for learning. Even if I know the topic, if I know it, but I learn something additional to what I have learned, I repeat what I learned. So my mantra is learn, apply, teach, repeat. Learn, apply, teach, and repeat.
Teach, repeat.
So
Wonderful.
what happens is that anything that you know and you learn, the universal things are very simple in life. There are no complications of learning. But what we tend to do is we want to add a lot of tam jam, a lot of things, and we want to make it look very, very, like, oh, I have a PhD, etc., etc. So why is it that one doctor makes $1 billion and the other is suffering because he cannot even feed his family? They are all doctors, they've been certified. What changes? So I think your dedication, your perseverance, your thirst for knowledge, and your application of what you've learned to help somebody solve a problem will make you somebody who is sought after, somebody who is people run to. So for me, what must I do to get this result? It's a simple formula. So when I do Take Charge 5X formula, I just sit down with my person whom I'm working with, and I want to know what is the result, what is the mindset that needs to be shifted, what are the things they need to change in their day-to-day behavior, and what is it, and how much time will they willing to give, what must they do to get that result. So my what is from here to here. You are here, you want to go here, I'll show you what to do. And that all comes from my experience and my learning as a coach. So I just enjoy working with business owners because they have the biggest mind blocks. They think they have know everything, they are rich, they are famous, because sab aata hai, I know everything, but still I'm not ready. And why? Market kharab hai, 2020 was a bad time. So it's always a blame game. They don't want to do the introspection. So the biggest game you can play with entrepreneurs is with their mindset, and I think that gives amazing results.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, Gemini. I really like, what you say, that you learn and then you apply what you have learned and then you teach. And what was the fourth step you said?
Repeat.
Teach, repeat.
Repeat.
Yeah, lovely,
Repeat.
lovely.
So Shweta, it's repeat till you master it.
Yes, repeat till you mastered it. So true. So that means, it will give you an opportunity to have constant learning for yourself and keep on applying and, keep on growing. Basically, it's a self-growth formula, I would say, before you even go out and teach someone. Yes, thank you, Ambadipuri and Dipali. Thank you. You know what? Well, I think in my case, when I notice this thing, when we ask people that what you want, That's the time when they really get stuck. It's before they even take those tiny steps. The first step where they actually get stuck. So people really need to, as David said, and you also emphasize that people need to know the purpose. They need to follow the passion, and they need to know the purpose. What are they going to solve? What is it going to do to their life? And if it is that important, then that's what will make them actually leave that procrastination and really take a step forward to move ahead in the direction which can take them ahead. Wonderful. So I believe, what is it that stops them from actually landing them to the position where they know what they want? if, will it be right to say that it's the belief system, it's the mindset, it's the limitations that is holding them back? And what can be done to do away from them? I believe, David, you
My,
would have a fiery
my,
answer to that. I know Gemini. Gemini will have
my
our
take,
softer inputs, but yes, we are getting a lot of fire from David. So, David, what
my,
is your
my,
take?
my take, my take on that is very simple, and I put it in a very succinct way. If your why is big enough, the facts don't count. And most people don't have time to spend on what they want, how to get their why, because they are running around satisfying the needs of everybody around them, that they forget about themselves. How many, in part of the thing that I spoke about this earlier, your morning rituals and your night rituals, how many actually spend time on introspection, a topic that Jem started talking about? How many spend time on thinking, what are the things that actually I want? Now, when you do that, what happens is, let me point out to you, certain chemicals inside of you gets triggered. Just like when you had dinner. No, you've not had dinner. You had lunch today. I'm in a different time zone here. So you've had lunch today, okay? You didn't turn around and tell your digestive system, enzyme A get released, enzyme Z get released so you can digest the biryani or the whatever you had. You don't. It automatically goes. The same way in our system, there is a chemical list called dose that impacts your emotions. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin. Now, these chemicals actually trigger certain things that allows what I call the neuroplasticity around the brains, which is the environment around the brains, to settle. So when you trigger this thinking process in your introspection, guess what happens, guys? Certain chemicals get released and it impacts certain things. So your why, by you associating with the right people, it accelerates the way in which you get your why. But guess what happens? We don't like to associate with certain types of people who are upward mobile. We like to associate with the people that we're comfortable with. And then we go and ask their opinion. Hey, listen, I'm going to get a job change, and you're asking the opinion of a guy of the same level. Can he give you an advice? No way. Like 2 days ago, I got a call from a CEO in the US. I coached him in 2004. Now, he has moved 6 companies since then. He's taken me to all 6 of those companies. Being a startup person, he does. Every 3 years, you move a job because you finish the startup and you move on your operations. So he's taken me to each of those companies to coach his top layer people, because he says it is easier for me to work when I know the environment is right. That is in a physical sense. The same way, if you know your environment in your brain, how to sync it and how to wire it. That's why my book is called Wired for Success. If you know how to wire it, guess what? You then know how to plant the dose chemicals and how to make sure the environment in your brain is right. So, boop, luck happens. How do you spell luck? L-U-C-K. Labor under correct knowledge. You make your luck. You don't expect other people to give you luck. This is what I call most people are unaware. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are aware of this, I do hope you go and spend some time with the right people. Forget me, I'm there. But people like Jem, people like Savita. There are other people there. And of course, David Nair also, okay? Now, the key element you've got to understand is we have to learn to go out and ask for help. My last coach made this comment to me. He said, David, at 92 years old, why are you continuously wanting to learn? Yeah, by the way, audience, I am 92. At 92 years old, why are you wanting to learn continuously? Because my dad told me that. He said, the day you stop learning is the day you die. Full stop. The day you stop learning is the day you die. Now, you want to come up in life, you want to get 2021 right, you look for your why. You see how your why can be done. And as I said, if your why is strong enough, to get a strong why, what do you have to do? Go hang out with the right people. Hang out with the right people. Hang out with people who are 1, 2, 3, 4 steps above you. And don't be embarrassed to ask them. You will be then surprised how powerful it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, David. That was really, again, as I said, David is all about fire. He's like all about big charged up. So now, after having the charged up session, now tell me, Germany, let me just take, I think it's better if you take charge of how is this belief system or the limitations of our mind that actually stop us, from actually achieving our own growth.
So Shweta, I'll give you a live example of what happened in 2020. In 2020, there is a doctor. She used to do Ayurvedic treatments for her clients. Okay, and because of the lockdown and shift of place, she said, "I'm not getting clients, and I'm not able to sell." And she was a doctor, and she was providing service as well as products. We sat down and we understood, and there were a lot of mindset blocks in the sense that this cannot happen, this has to happen like this only, this is going to be so. She was conditioned to think in a way that these are the ways you can do business and these are the ways you can treat clients. So then we opened up the possibilities and we tried new things, we applied. But for her to believe that it can happen, I had to give a result. So we took up some small things, applied a little changes, went online, started doing her branding and stuff like that. And today, she's an international speaker. She has a range of products which is in form of gift hampers. So normally Ayurvedic products are only treated as medicine, not as hampers. And she brought in so much variation into her business. But I believe that the only thing that stopped her was the belief, the way she was conditioned. So, belief can really hamper your progress to the level that you may give up. And I wrote recently, there is a very young girl who was supposed to go to Germany and her visas didn't happen and there was an issue, and she just gave up her life just because she didn't get selected and she lost hope. So your mindset, to nurture a mindset and to give possibilities to an individual, is like giving a new life. I have seen so many of them going through domestic violence, financial breakdowns. They are on the verge of giving up everything. And these are not people who are lower middle class, or I have great respect for people from lower middle class, but these are well educated doctors, lawyers, engineers, and they are going through such difficult phase just because they have blocked their thought. They say ki yahi hoga, this will happen and nothing more. There is nothing more left, everything is over, it's difficult. So that mindset blocks that we grow up with or we encounter while we are growing up, and we just absorb this all negative thoughts and negative beliefs, that can really shatter you. I think only difference between a successful and an unsuccessful person is a mindset, because every strategy is available, every help is available outside in the world. What stops you from getting it? What is stopping you? Why would I not go to David and say, David, I want to have an Excel life? Why shouldn't I go to David? Why wouldn't I come to you, Shweta, and say, Shweta, teach me how to do this? What stops you? Is it my ego? No, it's my fear. It's my fear of judgment. It's my fear of failure. It's my fear of what people will think about me. It's my fear of what if I cannot do it? So these are the things that are maybe it comes down from 3 generations. Can you believe it, Shweta? I've done a study, and it shows that your money mindset is 3 generations: your grandfather to your father to yourself, your grandmother to your mother to yourself, and you to your children. So it's very deep rooted. So if you have a great belief system, I think 3 generations later, your grandchildren will thank you. So it's so powerful, it is so crucial, but unfortunately, we are looking only for the outer results. We want more
Yeah,
cars, we have more money and a
Sure.
bigger house, but they don't know that it comes from here. What's the difference between what Dhirubhai Ambani thinks and what I think? It's a
yeah,
mindset,
so true.
right? I'm
Absolutely,
not, I'm
absolutely.
not a PhD holder, nor was he, but he found all the PhD holders in the world working for him. And I dream of doing the same, finding all the PhD owners working for me. So if you have a mindset and if you believe in it and you apply it, it's magical. I've seen
Wow,
that with
great.
lots
Yeah.
of us.
Thank you, Gemini. Definitely, definitely. That's what I said. Like even, the reason I named my program Meri Azzadi was that's like you have to have the freedom. You have to free your mind if you want to achieve any success because standing where you are, you will not reach ahead because you cannot expect life to change with the same circumstances, you being the same. You have to change for things to change around you. So, yes, so having the mindset of abundance is definitely the core quality that one needs to have. So, now I believe I'm going to bring back the fire. David, we'll start with you. We all know about the power of the mind. Yes, but there is a process attached to it. I would want this conversation to go on very, very long, but we are short on time, I believe. I would want first you to tell us about this, and then both of you, I would also want you to talk about your book. Both the books are very, very interesting ones. Yes, so we would talk about the book, but first, before that, tell me, let's talk about a little bit of about the power of our mind and what is the process. Instead
Yes.
of just talking about the mindset, let's give our audience some real gold from this session, and let's talk about what is the process that they can follow. What about thinking, the verbalizing it, and the outcomes that we can achieve from it. Let's bring some
Fabulous.
power. Let's bring some more power
No,
to it.
fabulous. Thank you. Thank you so much, Soeda. And thank you. Hey, Jen, that was great. What that segment, I really started soaking into it. Guys, I want you to just relax a little bit. Start thinking in a way that you would have never thought before. In other words, take yourself out of where you are into an out of the box thinking mindset. Okay. I'm not sure if you understand this concept. Every thought that we release is an electromagnetic wave. Okay. Now, every day we have 60,000 thoughts that come into our head. Bang, 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 bang. What are you doing to stop it? Can you take all 60,000 in? No. If you had your why correctly defined, guess what? It automatically filters 95% of it. If you don't have your why, all 60,000 thoughts will be coming into and try to focus into you. So your first thing to do is to ensure your what is defined and your why is defined. As I said at the start, if your facts are big, it doesn't matter. How much you want, it doesn't matter. What you want, it doesn't matter. Your why. I'll give you one illustration, and please do not think that I'm being boastful about this. I travel back and forth into India to do my purpose of why, converting or making sure I have an impact on 1 million people. Now, I have a very comfortable, very, very comfortable lifestyle in Australia. Why did I go back to India and I go through the trouble of driving in a small car, getting past potholes, struggling with no water in South India, struggling with no power? Is India bad? No. Those are the conditions that some people live under. And I was prepared to do that because I wanted to get my why. So every time when I go back, I have this underbelly hurt saying, oh my God, I got to go. But no, my purpose is big enough. Because my purpose is so strong, it does not allow me to think about all the small incidentals that cause the problem. So you make sure you got a strong why. You make sure you got a strong thought pattern. So it starts off with the thought. From the thought, the next thing that comes out of it for you to realize is what comes out of your mouth. Because verbalization, you get hung by it. Don't even say things in jest. I mean, I am sitting back and watching Facebook posts and Instagram posts, people, and I'm talking even about coaches who are out there putting these posts, and some of them are so negative, and I'm saying, oh my God, I'm cringing. How are they going to coach people? Do you understand what I'm saying? So be careful, be mindful of what words you put out. And if your idea is such that the words come out, even in jest, even in joke, do not joke about your why. Protect it like your temple. I explained to you earlier the things that this whole body runs and how powerful the brain is. 3 pounds does care of all of that. Protect it. It's a temple that God's given you. Protect it. Now, from words, the next thing that comes, because of your belief system, the words are conditioned. Like Jem was saying, 3 generations. So if your generations coming down had said, I will stay poor, money is bad, that's what you will do. Money is bad. Change. Break that pattern. There are some people who say, I want to make 1 crore in a year. My God, learn how to make $1,000 first. Go out and work. Okay? Now, I'm sorry. I'm a no BS type of
kind of fire. I'm so gonna enjoy your show. I'm telling you. I can visualize it right now.
David, I hear every alternate day. I want to make 1 crore. I want to make 1 lakh. I want to make 50 lakhs. I want to make 500 crores. I hear it all the time. I think all coaches are considered to be magicians. They want to come to the coach and they want to say, okay, I'm going to pay you peanuts, but you please get me solitaires. I'm going to pay you peanuts.
Yeah, that too, without me moving, even I wouldn't say anything else, without even moving an inch, from wherever I am. But yes, because I want to make millions. I was like, okay, fine. What are you going to do for the millions? I mean, you don't want to spend anything even on learning. So if you don't have the mindset of abundance, what kind of, you want to create that wealth, but that wealth has to be created within you. It has to start right from here.
Hey, Savita, you're really going to enjoy this. I've done so many previews around, and Jem would know this also, around different parts of the world, and everybody is so enthusiastic. They're listening to you, and I want that. I want to go. I want to make 2,000. I want to make 5,000 a week. They're saying, and then I tell them, okay, now come on. This is what's going to cost you, and you got to do this. Oh, I got to go and ask my wife first. Got it.
Yeah, they'll come up with all sort of those kind of limitations at that time. Yes,
exactly, and that's where the belief system I was talking about earlier. You see, it gets overwritten by this belief factor. Now, when you have fixed your thoughts, you have a man in the gate there protecting, and out of the 60,000 thoughts, you've only got 4 or 5 good ones that are coming in, because the 4 or 5 are your why. Okay, you got this picture, guys. Now from there, you start working on the words, the affirmations that's going to come out, and then you put a picture in there. And if I look at the back of Germany, I've just screened in. That's a vision board up there. Is that right?
No, it's a painting. It's a painting.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It looks like a beautiful vision board, actually.
Even I thought that. Yes.
Now, what happens? Put a vision out. Get a vision board. It might be very childish. In fact, one of the programs I conducted, I had CEOs sitting on the floor cutting pictures and putting it together, and the HR head was running around. I don't think the CEO will do it. I said, you mind my words, he will. He was the most effective person in getting the best vision board out. He took it home. He had vision of his company scaling up from being a 400 crore company to a 4,000 crore company, and he did that in 2 years.
Wow.
Now, don't play around with your thinking.
Yeah.
Don't play around with your thinking. Now,
absolutely.
The other thing, once you get your thoughts right, once you get your words right, once it's verbalized, and then you're visualizing it, your belief factor is in there, you put the action. You go and you pedal like hell, man. Don't worry what people say. What the beaver does is, during winter months, it goes it burrows. But during summer months, it goes and hunts around for all the food and stores in the burrow. Now do that. I say head down, bum up, and work.
Wow,
That's
great, great. Thank you very much, David.
I know. I'm
Now,
sorry. I'm
quickly,
taking your
let
time.
me have a peek of your book at least. Let just give me a quick shout out about your book. What is it about? I Excel. But I Excel,
Oh,
is it all about mindset or what? Are you
very,
giving us
very,
some?
very simple. We got to give Jem some time also. Very simple. I Excel. It's IXL. That's the
Uh-huh.
name of it. That's coined 25 years ago, and I set up a company on that. I Excel. The book is written in it.
Uh-huh.
The subtitle is called Wired for Success. It covers all the things I've just covered. It talks about affirmations. It talks about visualization. It goes through the process of what you want to do, how you need to do it, your morning rituals, your night rituals. That book is available in Amazon. You are welcome to take it around the globe. It's available everywhere. What else can I say about the book? It's actually promoted on Facebook. You have a look at it. A lot of information on online. Get into davidnair.net and you'll see all the information that you need on that. Get into my Facebook channels, get into the LinkedIn channels, get into my YouTube. You'll see a lot of videos on the book and all of that. So it's scattered all over. The basics of it is wiring yourself for success, deprogramming
Wonderful.
yourself and reprogramming yourself. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, David. Gemini.
Wow, that was amazing, David. And I'm going to summarize what David said because I was just thinking, what do I say which is different for what David says? Because we all are so much in sync with the thoughts. And there are some universal things that you can apply in life. There is no rocket science. It's only way how you apply to how much do you apply. So whatever David said, if it is applied to the max, you'll get fabulous results. If you just double, and just try it out, you'll get little results.
Yeah.
So I tell my clients this simple thing. Thoughts become feelings. Feelings become actions. And actions give you results. As simple as that. Now, a lot of people do not know how to control their thoughts and they do not know. So I tell them ki either you go like this or you like this. So your actions will cost you, what you can say, your actions will cost you feelings and those feelings will cost you thoughts. So if you had a bad experience, you will start having a bad feeling, and after the bad feeling your mind will start going into bad thoughts. So do you choose to go reverse or you want to go ahead? If you want to go ahead, you have to control your thought. Your thoughts will give you the right feelings, those right feelings will give you the right actions, and those actions will give you the results that you're looking for. It's as simple as that. And whenever I'm coaching, most of the women have a big difficulty in controlling their thoughts because what they have been told, what they have been criticized, what bad experiences they've had, what failures they've gone through, they've stored it all, they've taken all the garbage and they've locked it in a safe in their head. And that's thinking, and that's why their life is in such a mess, which my life was also, which I was
Yes.
fortunate enough to change it. So while I was going through a tough time in my life, I moved out of my house when I found out that my husband was not faithful, and I lost all my business. I had a 130 crore business which I had to give up. I had nothing, so I moved out of my house, and I was sitting and sobbing for 3 days. And I get a mail from my mentor that your deadline is tonight. If you do not submit, you are out of the course. And I said, oh shit, I was a backbencher. I never worked hard, I was a backbencher. That hit me so hard because I could not afford to leave my lifeline. That course was my lifeline because it gave me the strength to fight. It gave me the strength to change things. And I started writing, and I was sobbing. And I wrote 9 chapters. I downloaded a lot of pictures from the internet. I put that in the book just to make it more bulky. And I wrote quotes which came to me, from my heart. I researched, and I sent the email at 11:55. At 12:05 a.m. I get an email from my mentor. Your book is amazing. And first time in my life, somebody had appreciated me for knowledge and writing,
Right.
which I thought in my brain that I was average. My grammar was bad. I am not good with academics, and I can do nothing intellectual. This was my thought. I was very creative. I made crores of rupees, but my self belief was I was not enough. When I wrote that book, I wrote about loving yourself. I wrote about what is important to take your finances, how you can love your children to the moon and back, but yet take care of yourself. What are the beliefs and values that you have that can give you a transformation? So all through my experience, I wrote, and I was in a rented apartment, while I wrote this book. And that was the beginning of my book. And then later on, 6 months, I worked on my book. And my book is called 9 Ways to Empower. So I have written some simple things that you can apply to your life, some simple thought processes you can change, some activities you can do after you read the chapter and fill in your details, like list down 5 things that you want to change about yourself, and think about 5 experiences that shattered you, and how you can reframe them. So a lot of technical, non-technical thing put into simple words. So right from a 10th standard kid to a 100-year-old woman, or even 120-year-old person. So this book is something you can give to your daughters, you can give to your wife, you can give the women in your life. And if you are a father, brother, or son, you should read this book, because you'll understand women better. So my book is called 9 Ways to Empower, and I am very passionate about writing now. So I'm writing my second book, Take Charge 5X Formula, Unmask Your Potential. So that's all about business and all about business strategies. But the earlier book is more like my first baby, which is very, very precious. And it's available on Flipkart, Amazon, Notion Press. It's available on a lot of platforms. But the best thing my book did was I got a live, interaction with Mr. Ratan Tata. And I could rub shoulders with him. I could get an autograph, and I could look into his eyes and say, "I'm an author. Will you sign my book?" And that is something I'm going to take to my grave with me, because that was a wow experience, and it changed so many things about myself that I thought I was not enough. But when I saw him, I said, I am enough. I could get through to Mr. Ratan Tata. So when I meet the Tata people, I always smile to them. आप रतन टाटा से मिले हो? They said नहीं. I said मैं मिली हूँ. So just a grammar, bad grammar. So when I go to schools and I do workshops, I ask the children, how many of you are bad with English? How many of you are bad with grammar? They all put their hands up. I said, oh, you all can become author. When I can become, you can become. And the teachers start laughing, because they've been cribbing and scolding the children. You're not good. You're this. You should study hard. And they all start smiling that, wow, she's a grammar, what you can say, fail, or not good with grammar. But she's an author. So even I can be an author. So I believe life is very simple. You should just enjoy and do what you love.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, Shweta. Just 10 seconds. I forgot to mention, those that would like to get a copy of my book from this channel.
Me.
Okay. I'm actually providing, not me, Amazon is providing a coupon. So just drop in an email to me, and we'll shoot a coupon off to you, and you'll get it for 33.5 or 40% discount or something like that.
Wow, that's another goal for the audience. Thank you.
Nice,
Thank you, David.
nice.
Thank you, Gemini. Thank you, David. Wonderful, wonderful. I believe we had such an amazing and, yes, inspiring session, in fact, today. Yes, to sum it up, so rightly said by, David and Gemini, that you want the power in your mind. So be mindful about what you're feeding to your brain. What is it that you're actually, how are you helping your mindset to actually give you desired results? So you need to be mindful about that. How are you going to nurture that? Pay attention to your routine. That is so, so important. And I completely agree to that, because I've seen the results, and there are proven studies. We have all the successful people, talking about, having different rituals. Robin Sharma about 5 a.m. club, or all these, successful people talking about the value of routine, even value of making your bed, with Gemini would agree with me. And I loved it, what Gemini, the kind of that tip, I would say, that you gave about the later, I would call it, learn, apply, teach, repeat, and repeat till you master it. So
Yes.
rightly said, and then that's how you will get your luck. And I loved the definition given by David, that the luck is nothing but the labor under correct knowledge. So rightly said. Wonderful tips. Have the your mindset of abundance, have the mindset of finding, your purpose, knowing your purpose, and going all out to achieve that. Be that kid, who wanted a kite, and went all ahead. And next morning, when he wakes up and he jumps out of his bed and like, I want to fly a kite. So that's, that you have a purpose. You want your dreams to become true, and put your thoughts, right thoughts, which brings in the right feelings, and those feelings, as Gemini said, would bring in the right actions, and those actions will bring
Results.
results. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's all about mind, so rightly said. And I hope our audience will benefit from the right guidance, to cultivate that mindset. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
everyone.
it. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having me.
everyone. Thank you for your time.